Hey now, would you look over there? Big red lips, long blonde hair. Say, come here, baby, let me catch you stare. Like the way you walk when you walk over there. Hey now, would you look over there? Long black boots and long hair. Say, come here, baby, let me catch you stare. Like the way you walk when you walk over there. Ain't no girl like, ain't no girl like that. No girl like you. I just want to talk to you. Want to talk to you. Come on, let's drive around. Take the top down, fool around. Come on, let's drive around. Take the top down, fool around. Hey! Woo! Yeah, big red lips and long blonde hair. Say, come here, baby, let me get you a stare. Like the way you walk when you walk over there.
All right. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report for a Thursday. It is a thirsty Thursday, January 26th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your Thirsty Thursdays. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner, or hit the subscribe button below this video if you're using a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by your good friends right here at ATSstats.com. Sign up today, and only for $4.99, you can get a membership for a week, or if you want to get a monthly or year membership, why not use promo code ATS25, ATS25, all uppercase, one word, and get 25% off your next membership right here at ATSstats.com. All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Welcome to the Raymond Report. My name is Ron Raymond, a five-time sports handicapping champion based out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And today it is it's an overcast day here in the nation's capital. We got hammered pretty well last night with some snow. Not as bad as Buffalo this year, so I can't, you can't really complain when you see what's going on with all the snow in Buffalo. But yeah, we did get about 10 to 15 centimeters last night, so I got a little bit of shoveling to do here today. But you know what? It's a pretty good day. It's Thursday, January 26th. We got some good NFL football playoffs. Hey, where's my Jim Mora? If I'm gonna go Jim Mora on you guys.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You
Playoffs?
kidding me? Playoffs?
Yeah, we got some playoffs of football this weekend. Today we're going to talk about the SBI, the market index. I'm going to tickle the brain here a bit and talk about the dollar cost average of winning in sports betting. What's your dollar cost average to win, and what's more important, the winning percentage or the price that you have to pay to win? And I'm going to really make you guys scratch your head here today, because obviously this ain't my first rodeo. I've been doing this 27 years, and the more that you see what's going on in sports, the more parity that's happening right now. It really is flipping a quarter some nights trying to pick winners. And when you look at the teams, load management, like you look at the lineups going into every game, it's just the like my good friend Ross Benjamin says all the time, the line will tell you when one of the key players is out. And it's really easy to see now whenever, say, Luka Doncic's not in the lineup, Djokovic, all the great players, Curry, all the good ones in the league, as soon as they're not in the lineup, the line reflects it. And then, parity this year, especially NHL. Like the NHL, I heard a good one this morning. It's not the NHL, it's the 3-2 hockey league. Every score in the NHL seems to be like 3-2 right now. And this is why, if you follow the Raymond Report, I've been saying it since day number one. Let's go to these sports betting secrets, the golden rules of sports betting. And again, here, about 7-8 years ago, I was tired of being average, and I said, okay, what's going on in sports? How come what worked in the 90s, early 2000s, is really not working as successful as I wanted to work for myself in sports betting? And it boiled down to this. I went to the old research and development department, and I said, okay, let me find out. And then I spent a month just dissecting all my plays, all the systems, and I came down with the fundamentals of sports betting. Where's the value in your picks? Percentage play, is it in your favor or the bookmaker's favor? The teams go through different performance cycles player availability. Now, again, injuries, you can't do nothing about injuries because, they're injured. You can't handicap injuries. You got to handicap whoever is available to play. And then you got to use your money management system. And that, my friends, is what I came, when I researched the my average outcomes, and I said, okay, I got to get better than this. And this here has been helping me a lot. And when you look at sports now, analytics do play a big role, but you still got to use some of the old school handicapping techniques that you've used in the past. Let down situations, look at situations, but those are big in college sports. But analytics, you gotta have your number. It's your number against the bookmaker's number, and when you can pick the right number, hey, you're not going to win 100% of the time. If you can get 56% and keep it consistent. The end of the day, we call it cash out Monday for a reason, right? You got to be able to cash out on Mondays. If not, and I say it all the time on this show, and it's one of the most honest questions, if you're honest with yourself, that you can say to yourself, when was the last time I actually cashed out money out of the sports book? And if you're really honest, I guarantee you there's about 10% of the people with their hands up right now. The other 90 are probably scratching their heads saying, yeah, you know what? When was the last time I cashed out of a sports book? I seem to be putting all the money in. Hey, just ask your wife or your husband. They'll tell you. Hey, they'll tell you when was the last time you cashed out. But those are the golden rules of sports betting when you look at the Raymond Report. And speaking of the golden rules and the 10 commandments, and it's been a while. I haven't done the show. So, like, when you do a show every day and then you go once a week, you kind of forget the routine of where your sound bites are. But there you go. There's the top 10 commandments of sports betting. Thou shalt not bet big money on C-type teams in the Raymond Report. C-type teams are teams below 500. Never lay points. Take the points. Bet the money line or the over-under. Create your number. As I said, it's your number against the bookmaker's number. And this is why the ATS calculator, to me, is one of the best tools in the industry. Follow a disciplined money management system like we do here at the Raymond Report. Never force a pick because you need action on a game. How many times you sit there before a game, you go, you know what? I can't watch this game without having action, so I'm going to put action on the game. And it could be beer and pizza money, or it can be investment money, but never force a pick because you need action. Sometimes the best bet you make is the one you don't make. Never chase a losing bet on a bad day. Bet with your wallet, not your heart. NHL home favorites coming off a 1-goal loss, 60% since 2011. But you know what? Coming off a 2-goal loss has even been better since we've gone to the all these coaches pulling their goalies with like 3 minutes left and they're going to the third period. 24-hour rule of betting. Oh, actually, I skipped a beat there. Never bet against A-type teams who are bullish at home. Yeah, learned that last year against the Braves. The 24-hour rule of betting, take a day off after a big win. You know why? Because you never know when you're going to get that next big win. And never bet on teams who are in a bearish cycle. And as Denis, the goalie, would say,
no, you don't do that.
No.
Don't do that.
Oh, no, never.
Why not?
Why not?
Against the rules. You're stupid when you do that.
I don't know if you're stupid, but yeah, against the rules. All right, so those are the Raymond Report fundamentals, the top 10 commandments of sports betting that I live by. And today you're going to hear me talk about teams that are A, B, and C-type teams in the Raymond Report. Those are teams with a 60 or higher win percentage. Teams that are 50 to 59.9, which seems to be a lot of teams these days. Average teams, right? Those are B-type teams. And teams below 500, yeah, this is where you put your beer and pizza money. Don't put your investment money on C-type teams, right? Because they're like an old high school sweetheart. They're going to break your heart. 49% or lower, those what I classify as C-type teams. All right, there you have it. The Raymond Report fundamentals right here at atsstats.com. All right, let's go feed some ponies. Hey, got to feed the ponies. See, the Nature Boy's in the house. How you doing there, Nature Boy? Woo! All right. They're at the post. They're off and running. They're off and running today at Aqueduct in New York. In fact, kind of missed Gulfstream Park. Went there a few weeks ago and, man, just got the juices flowing again just watching the ponies run. All right, so today at Aqueduct, race number 1 is a $20,000 maiden claiming race, $12.50 post time, 6.5 furlongs on the dirt. And I'm going to recommend 436 today at Aqueduct in race number 1. Lascano in the saddle here on the 4-horse, mostly harmless. And Lascano 55% in the money, the last 100. Afilada is Dale Davis riding the ride on the number 3 horse, Afilada. And Dale Davis is 40% in the money last 100. And the 6 horse, 10-1 morning line on the 6 because of the Brave. Davis taking a ride on the 6. And your Joker's Wild, Gracefully Wild. Torres taking a ride on the 5 horse. Gracefully Wild, 6-1 morning line. I'm going to recommend Dale Davis today in Affilata, number 3 horse, today in race number 1 at Aqueduct, and 9-5 morning line, so it's a pretty chalky one. But put 10 to win, 10 to place on the 3. So this way, he comes in second, you get paid twice. Comes in first, second, you get paid once. Comes in first, you get paid twice, which is better. And you can always bet the ponies using the tip sheet right here at atsstats.com. In fact, we have all the horses for today. If you're a member of our website, go to horses premium tip sheet. Once you get to the pull down menu, this is all the tracks going today. We got a lot of them. Look at that. So let's take a look at Aqueduct, Charlestown, Delta Downs, Fairgrounds, Gulfstream Park, my favorite track, Louisiana Downs, Mahoning Valley, Penn National, Turf Paradise, Turfway Park. Those all are premium tip sheets. In fact, let's go look at Gulfstream Park today in race number 1. Post time today at Gulfstream. And for all anybody at Gulfstream, yeah, look at that. It's 84,000 maiden special weight race, 12:10 post time. So giddy up, hey, like Kramer would say, giddy up. Let's go make some money. All right, those are your free horse racing selections today, courtesy of atsstats.com. All right, T's back. Welcome back, Coach, says F. Thanks, F, and thank you for tuning in this morning. The Nature Boy, John X, finally. I agree, Nature Boy. He says, I'll spend 2 units to win 1 unit. My confidence level is at the highest. The ATS Stats gave me a big dog last night. Thanks for the Columbus money line. Hey, that deserves a...
Show me the money!
Yeah, that'll show you the money right there, Columbus. But you know what? Might as well get into it right now. Here's the thing in sports betting right now. The parity is so tight that, when you look at your win percentage, in fact, let's go to our dashboard right here. Let's go to the last 100 picks in the, and I'll go to SBI after this. Let's take a look at the computer picks for NBA. Look at this, 56% and 50% against the point spread. That's a coin flip every night. When you're picking, say you're using the ATS computer picks, you're basically a coin flip away every night from winning. And if you're betting the favorites, you're winning at 56% clip. Not the favorites, the forecasts, our selections. You're winning at 56%. So, and look at the forecast, 50%. Even Steven all the way around the board. Let me check the NHL, see how the NHL is doing. But again, where is your comfort level? Oh, hockey's doing really good in the NHL. Look at that, 63% of the favorites on our computer picks are winning. So yeah, the ATS Stats computer picks doing really, really well. The puck line, 57%, over under 53. So yeah, you know what? I didn't expect 63%. I thought it'd be maybe in the 50. I checked the NBA. I forgot to check the NHL. But here's where I'm going with this. When you decide to handicap the games each and every day, and you're making your selections, there's a comfort level of how much money you want to spend to win, right? What is your dollar cost average? What is your dollar cost average on wanting to, like, we all want to win, but at what cost, right? At what cost are you willing to spend to win? If it costs, like, say for instance, I like betting the puck line because, you know what, when I bet the puck line, and why not? When you look at what's happening in the NHL this year in the puck line, there's a pretty good high percentage of people winning on the puck line. It has been, look at the last 3 days, 61%. And that's pretty good. But it's been higher. If you look at all the green right down here for the underdogs, like especially in the month of December, look at all the green on this side. This was like close to 65-70%. And this is where I'm getting at. And the books have adjusted. The books have to adjust. If the books don't adjust, they go broke. And then, then you're doing one-on-one betting with your buddies, right? But when you look at the NHL, the last 7 days, 74% of the favorites are winning straight up, which is phenomenal. In fact, when you look at the last 7 days, man, it's been a chalky day. Look at that. Only one underdog had today, and it was a 7-6 day, and that was on January 19th. January 19th, let me see. January 19th was a Thursday. Yeah, Thursday and Saturday is really busy in the NHL, right? And then you look at the Friday 2-0, Saturday 9-5, 4-1, 3-1, 8-3, 4-1. So it's been a chalky day betting NHL, right? So, but the thing is, with NHL favorites, the bookmakers know that the if the favorites are coming in at 74%, what are they going to do to discourage you to bet the under, like to stay away from the favorite and bet the underdogs? They're going to lay the price at like minus 300, minus 350. Now, as soon as you see that, you're like, I'm not laying 400. You know, last night, Columbus, right? You see what happens, you know, Columbus pulls the upset and a big win like that. It's just, sometimes you look at the betting board and you say, it goes against my my moral values of betting that I can't lay 300, I can't lay 400, I'm not laying 500, even though, you know, I'm laying 500 to win 100 is, you know, it's not a good business decision, right? And especially when you look at the puck line on the underdogs, the last 7, the one thing I don't like to do is, it's hard enough to pick them straight up, but asking them to win by 2 goals, it's even harder. And look at the favorites. Here's the balance where the bookmakers are really happy, is that 53.4% of the favorites on the puck line has cashed in the last 7 days. But look at the year average, 42.8, and if you look at the year on the underdogs, 57.3. And this is why they say it all the time. Timing in the market, right? How many times have you know, I come on this show and I say, guys, pick your spots. Pick your spots, and every day, you know, is not a Picasso. You can't get that perfect picture pick every day. You got to wait. And you got to wait for your spot to get that right opportunity to make some money, right? But the thing is, if you're betting every day, you're already in this habit and this routine of saying, okay, you know, I'm going to find that winner today, and then, you know, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday. You can't think like that. You got to give yourself a window of opportunity to say, okay, what's my goal? My goal is to make say 5 units, but I'm not going to make it in 7 days. I'm probably going to have to make it in 30 days. So I got to pick my spots, but this is where you got to distinguish from yourself. Am I a weekend warrior better, or am I an investment better, right? Are you a beer and pizza guy, or are you a long-term sports betting investor, right? If you bet every day, I can guarantee you're not going to make money in the long run. Well, books don't want to hear that, but too bad. That's what my clients pay me to tell you. But if you want to wait for those spots, pounce on it. And this is why NFL is king, right? Because there's a 7-day last between most teams in their games. And, you know, you got to be, and even, you know, when you look at the NFL, let's go look at the NFL this season, betting the National Football League. It hasn't really, you know, the favorites have done really well. Look at that. Straight up. We're talking straight up, and then we'll go look at the point spread. So week 1, 62%. Winning straight up. Week 2, 62. 43. Okay. So how many times have the favorites had a losing record during the year on a straight up factor? There's a 50%. Well, you know, we'll chalk that up to, like, you know, 50-50, obviously. You know, 2 weeks. Hey, week 3 and then week 10 and all the favorites. But look at the over here, the point spread, and let's go to week 18. All right, underdogs. Okay, favorites. Let me see here. That's pretty much a washout. Look at underdogs, favorites, underdogs, favorites, underdogs, balance, underdogs, favorites, and underdogs. When did you see me say a lot of favorites winning and covering the spread, right? So you can see you got a dollar cost average when you're sports betting, because if you, and the thing is with the recreational bettor, they do have a favorite mindset, right? They come in and let's be honest, the dopamines when you think of a favorite make you feel good. When you think of underdogs, you're like, oh, I don't know, underdog, I don't know if they can really pull it off. But you got to learn, you can't live on one bet. You know, if you're making 10 bets and you pick underdogs on 5 or 6 of those bets, your percentage are pretty good. That, you know, we're not asking you to win, we're just asking you to cover, right? But if you're asking the favorites, they got to do 2 things. You got to win and cover. And this is why I say it all the time. I don't lay juice. I don't lay points, and I'll show you why. Let's go to the SBI for the NBA, and the NBA is the perfect example. Look at this. Last 7 days, the NBA, 60.6% of the NBA teams winning straight up, only covering the spread 44% of the time, compared to 47.7 on the year. Pretty much balanced, right? But that's the bookmaker's job. Bookmaker's job is to balance the ledger each and every day, so that way at the end of the year, the favorites and the underdog don't have an edge. But the thing is, when you're betting in cycles, and this is what I call a 7-day cycle, the bookmakers can't control this. They can control this. You know how? Adjusting their lines. You know, the 7-day cycle, it's too short term. It's too short term. That's where you got to take your advantage during the short cycles. So this way, you pick your spots, and when you look at it, look at the last 3 days. 69.3% of the favorites winning straight up, covering only 54.7. Look at the discrepancy of that percentage right there, right? 54 to 69. Favorites winning straight up. And this is why, and again, I'm going to go back to dollar cost average. When I don't lay points. I'll take the points, but I won't lay points. But when I do take the points, or lay the money line, it has to be attractive, and you got to know where your comfort level is. Now, people are going to say, and your win percentage, right? What's more important, the win percentage or the price you're going to pay for winning? I say it all the time. It's when you start getting into the minus. Let's take a look tonight. Right? Here's some great examples. So tonight, the Phoenix Suns minus 1.5 on the money line, on the spread, minus 120 on the money line. Why sweat out the free throws at the end? Spend the other $10, get minus 120, just win straight up, right? And then you got another line here of minus 6 on Chicago, minus 220. Now that's where we start getting the comfort level, right? Am I comfortable to lay 6 or am I comfortable to lay 220? If I lay 6, I probably got a 44% chance the last 7 days to win on the to cover the spread. But to win straight up, it's 16% better at 60%. But here it gets a little even, minus 8.5. Costs you $350. So you see how the bookmaker discourages you from taking those winning teams. Obviously they're not going to give you Boston Celtics at minus 140, right? When they're laying 8.5 points. So this is where bookmakers try to really discourage you from betting the money line and at the end of the day, what's their job, right? Their job is to make things balanced and even, and no advantage for the player or the bookmaker. That's the key thing. There cannot be an advantage to the bookmaker or the player, but for you as a player, you want to get that advantage because you don't want that advantage to go to the bookmaker, right? So a little 101 here today. I know it's a little bit of a long babble, but my job. My job as a coach makes you think, right? I got to make you think. If you're not thinking, then you're wasting your money, and you can't make uneducated bets and then look back after and say, "What was I thinking? Why did I do that?" Hey, never force to play because you need action in the game, right? One of the rules. All right, today is Thursday. It is January 26th. Unfortunately, Ross won't be on the show here today. Ross couldn't make it, so he said he'll be back here next week. So want to wish Ross a nice day. And we'll see Ross the Boss Benjamin next week, and we'll next week probably be a bye week, so we'll probably talk some basketball. All right, let's get to the SBI, which I just did. So we talked about the sports betting index, so we just went through that. So you can see right now, when you're betting NBA, think money line instead of point spread if you like favorites, right? But NHL's pretty much, but here's the thing, right? You get spread sports and then you get money line sports. This is why I love baseball so much, because I don't have to worry about the spreads. It's just, win the game straight up. NHL, wow, 74% on the season. And let me see what the 74% on the season, actually 60.9 on the season overall. And what did I say the NBA overall average of winning the game straight up on the year? 62.3. Wow. Okay. That's again, cycles, right? Hey, it's all about cycles. When you think about cycles, at the end of the day, favorites do win about 60% of the time, right? And when you look at the NFL, let's see what the NFL cycle is here. NFL is 66.5. So there you have it. All right, let's get to the market index. This is a pretty good tool here at the ATS. So in order to get this tool, you go to your dashboard. So let's say you go to your dashboard and you go to market index. And this is where we keep an eye on our A, B, and C-type teams. A-type teams are teams with a 60 or higher win percentage. B-type teams, those are teams that are 50 to 59.9. And C-type teams, hey, we don't bet on C-type teams, as Stone Cold would say.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Yeah, exactly. Stone Cold said so you don't do it. All right, so let's take a look at what the A-type teams, how they're doing. And the Brooklyn Nets not having a lot of fun lately, right? They are struggling. Yeah, they are struggling. In fact, they're 2-5 in their last 7 games, and lost a tough one last night in Philly. Confidence level of the betting public on Brooklyn right now at 28%, bearish, and 29-18 on the season straight up, still pretty good. And then you got Memphis, Milwaukee. Memphis losing a heartbreaker in Golden State last night. And then you got Boston, Denver, Philly. Those are your bullish teams right now. You can see the market confidence. And here's the thing, right? When the bookmakers know that these three teams have a good bullish cycle going, the dollar cost average is going to be really, really high. Sacramento, Miami, the B-type teams who are bullish, along with Atlanta. Stay away from Dallas and New Orleans right now until they work out their kinks. Those are your B-type teams. And the only team in the C's that you should be thinking about is Oklahoma and Washington. Those are teams below 500. Those are the teams you should be thinking about taking right now. All right, those are your market index for the NBA. And let me see what I got on the deck right now. We did the SBI with the market value, ATS standings. Yeah, let's go take a look at the standings. I want to show you guys this here today. You know what? The thing I like about Thursdays is instead of Thirsty Thursdays, I think I'm going to call it Thinking Thursdays. I like that what F wrote. He goes, thinking sessions. Yeah. Hey, what do you guys think? Thinking Thursdays? Hey, make you think on a Thursday. And you know what? But here's the thing. If you're winning, keep drinking. Hey, if you're winning, keep drinking. If you're losing, keep thinking. And join the think tank right here at atsstats.com. All right, let's get to the hey, gotta include a bit of humor here when you do these shows. Hey, these shows can't be all serious, right? It's all about straight cash.
Straight cash, homie.
All right, let's get that straight cash. Let's go to the ATS team standings. Yeah, we're long overdue for a thinking session, says F. Yeah, so John X had a big night. Big night. All right, let's take a look at the Boston Bruins, eh? Just in, they're pretty good. Yeah, the Boston Bruins are pretty good. Let's see who has the best home record this year. Boston Bruins 22-4. Toronto Maple Leafs, hey, Marner, they got that winner. 19 seconds in last night with the Rangers. I had the Rangers on the hockey picks. Tampa Bay, man, I don't know what is with my my love connection with the Tampa Bay teams, but I just seem to always love to bet the Lightning or the Rays, right? Not the Bucks. Not the Bucks this year. All right, Tampa Bay 18-5, Winnipeg 17-6. And here's, when you get these small market teams like Winnipeg, Calgary, you got to give these teams a look. But yeah, Winnipeg, wow, that snuck up on me. 17-6 at home this year. Yeah, that's pretty good. Road teams, the Road Warriors, New Jersey Devils. Hey, welcome back, New Jersey, 18-4. Seattle, big win last night, 6-1. They spoiled Rick Tocchet's second game of the year. Boston Bruins, 16-5. Carolina, man, watched that game last night between the Canes and the Dallas Stars. What a great hockey game. Two good hockey teams, and unfortunately, I had Dallas last night, but you got to tip your hat off to the Canes. They got the winner in overtime. They got the winner, and they look pretty good. Edmonton Oilers, man, the Oilers. I talk about trust, right? There's a trust factor. I can't trust Edmonton. They're too Jekyll and Hyde. There's Dallas, and here's the thing. Here's the teams you want to trust in the NHL right now. I'm okay trusting these teams right here, and I'll tell you why. When you look at the A-type teams in the Raymond Report, you're talking about New Jersey, Winnipeg, Carolina, Tampa Bay, Boston, Toronto, Seattle. That's funny to see Seattle there, right? But a second-year expansion team, they're already an A-type team. That's a good. That's good coaching, good managing, and the players doing a hell of a job getting that team with the record that they're at, right? But I bet you of all these teams here, Seattle will be the best value team to bet. And again, think value and the winning percentage. Seattle will be a good team to, I think Winnipeg. Of all these teams here, when you're looking for value and trust, I think Seattle and Winnipeg come to mind, the two A-type teams that you want to trust when you're betting with them. In the B-type teams, these are the teams where, you know what, you'll get great value with these teams, but you got to pick your spots on the trust factor and the cycles that they go through, right? The Rangers, Pittsburgh, Washington, Buffalo. Man, Buffalo, beginning of the year, I was on them. Then they went through a little bit of a hiccup, but the Sabres seem to be back right now. Colorado, off the defending Stanley Cup champions, had that really slow start, but starting to, get those W's put together. Edmonton, I can't trust any team from Alberta right now. Hey, those Alberta teams, you need the Pepto-Bismol when you watch those guys. Minnesota, same thing. Dallas, I love Dallas. I like taking Dallas, especially when they're on the road. Los Angeles, I took the Kings the other night, big 4-3 win over the Flyers. And then Vegas. Vegas, the thing with Vegas, they're like the Miami Heat. You just don't know who's going to be in the lineup, right? That's the thing with Vegas. But anyways, so of the teams that I would trust the most in the B-type teams right now, I gotta say Buffalo with value. Now think win percentage, combine it with value, I think Buffalo's the team, and I think Dallas are the two teams you really want to pay attention to when you're betting with them. All right, let's take a look at the NBA. And go top of the hour. Can you believe that? We did a thinking session of already, a half hour of thinking sessions. I like that. Hey, we're in the lab right now. Hey, I think that's what we should call the bullpen lab. What do you guys think? The bullpen lab. All right, let's go to the NBA. Let's do type of teams. Now, of the 6 teams that are A-type teams, which team do you guys trust the most? Post it in the comment section. If you're watching live, post it in the chat. If you're watching on the replay, then post it into the comments. I would love to hear what you guys, of the 8-type teams, of these 6 teams, which one do you trust the most as a favorite, and which one do you trust the most as an underdog? As a favorite, the team that I would trust the most here as a favorite, it all depends. And again, I don't lay points, but I'm thinking money line. Boston, obviously. But I think Denver, especially with that 22-4 home record, that's pretty good. Those are 2 teams that I'd probably trust right now. But let's take a look at the B-type teams. Of these B-type teams, which are the teams that, from a value perspective and a win percentage, that you would trust the most? Cleveland, Jekyll and Hyde, can't trust. They're good at home. They hide on the road. Atlanta, too inconsistent. Miami, don't trust the Miami's. It's the injuries. You just never know who's in the lineup. New York, same thing. Can't trust them. Minnesota, so. Golden State. Now, Golden State's interesting, but Golden State, it all depends if Curry's in the lineup, right? Clippers, there was a stat out there a few weeks ago. Whenever Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are in the lineup, Clippers win 76% of their games. So take it with a grain of salt. Phoenix, I'm just waiting for Phoenix to come back. They really slow out of the gate this year, but I think Phoenix would probably be a team from a value perspective that I'd probably trust. Sacramento let me down last night against the Raptors. Dallas, and New Orleans. So of the teams here, I like Phoenix, that I think I can trust from a value perspective. And the other one would probably be, it's between Dallas and Sacramento. Those are probably the 2 B-type teams that I would trust as underdogs and value, right? And when you look at this, and this is why I talk about the trust factor. These teams that I just mentioned right now, they all have a combined home record of 64%, but look at their road record, 41%. Like, we are talking a 23% difference between winning at home and winning on the road. So again, and this is why when you're handicapping sports, you got to pick your spots, and depending on the season, depending on the year, like every year there's like a new topic to talk about. And this year it's like the home and away teams, right? Such a big discrepancy. In fact, look at this, 78%, 55%. That's huge. That is huge. When you think about the discrepancy between the home and away record, and here, let's say like B-type teams with a losing record on the road, and C-type teams, 48-31. But we don't bet on C-type teams, right? All right, Memphis says talisman. Yeah, you know what, Memphis, Memphis for sure. Memphis, it's the thing with Memphis to me is the lack of experience. Like they're a good young team, but do they have the mental edge to win those mental games in the last minute, like last night, right? Last night, that was like the schoolyard game, right? The older guys took care of the younger guys, right? And you saw Golden State win. It's just the mental edge of winning those games in the last minute and not to panic. And Golden State didn't panic. Memphis, they'll get there. They'll get there, but they got to learn how to get there, right? You got to learn how to win. Somebody wrote a book on that. I think it was Tom Coughlin. Learn How to Win. Somebody wrote a great book on learning how to win. And the thing is, you got to learn how to win as a team, but you got to stay consistent as a team. You can't be free agent climbing every year. Say, okay, let's bring in a new guy. Let's say, get this guy out. No, you got to keep your core together, and you got to build off that core, right? It's like it's like a puzzle. Keep your 4 corners, and then just mix it up with the middle parts, right? But you got to keep your 4 corners to your team. All right, so there you have it. That is the NBA team standings, value report, right? And speaking of value report, if you go to the website atsstats.com, go to tools, go to the value report. And this is also another great tool. You ever say to yourself, how do they come up with that number? Why is that number what it is? And why is it that, favorites and underdogs, depending on who they're playing? And that's one thing I'm big at, especially when I coach football. There's a mindset going into a game. Like, if I know this year I got a really good football team and I'm coaching them and I'm saying, you know what, I feel good about any, A, B, and C type teams, it just doesn't matter, right? But when you got an average to below average team, you kind of know going into the game, you're going to need a little bit of help, right? And that's the same type of mindset you need in sports betting. And when you look at, the A type teams like Boston, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Denver, Memphis, this is their line average of so this is the value report. This is what the average line is for Boston when they're playing the alphas of the teams that are 60% or higher. So when Boston Celtics are at the TD Gardens against those A-type teams, the normal line is minus 6.1 against the B-type teams, 7.2, and the 9.5 against the C-type teams. So you see the number keeps rising, the incline, right? It just keeps going from 6, 7 to 9. Here you go from 2 to 4 to 8, 5, now 3. That's an interesting, subset right there, right? You go from minus 5.3 as the favorites against the A-type teams, but against the B-type teams, why would Philadelphia not be like, say, 6 or 7, right? So that's something you got to look into. And that's, the value report, right? You got to look into, like, who have they played against those B-type teams? And, maybe Harden was out. Maybe Joel Embiid was out against those. And those are special circumstances. But those are things you got to look at. And what I like to do is I like to see, do I have value? In the number one thing in the Raymond Report, do I got value in that play? So I'll go back and I'll say, okay, is there value in this play? Normally when they're at home against the A-type teams, tonight the line's 7, but normally it's 5.3. So why are they overvalued? And again, I go back to my 2-for-1 pizza, right? You want a 2-for-1 pizza at $5, or do you want a $40 deluxe pizza, right? That's my overvalue analogy right there. You click on this, you get the underdogs, and here's the thing. Boston, never been an underdog at home. New Jersey, they've been an underdog a couple times against A's and B's. And this is where, from a mental aspect, the market psychology, this is where the bookmakers have a mindset of trying to understand the market psychology of the betting public. Because of all these teams, the A-type teams, C-type teams, look at that. Only Memphis and Philadelphia have been an underdog against C-type teams. That'll be interesting to see when that happened. But normally in the A's and B's, Memphis, normally an underdog a couple of times. And New Jersey, you can see, obviously Boston, Milwaukee, and what do they have in common, right? Great players, and depending on who's in the lineup. But let me see, favorites, always same thing. And then the C-type teams, Detroit, never been a favorite against A's or B's. Indiana, they've been a favorite against the B's and the C's, but this is a great tool to use to see if you got value, to see if you're undervalued, fair market value, or overvalued, and think of the pizza analogy, right? All right, Sacktown headed for a train wreck after fooling the league. They've been the healthiest in the league, says F. Yeah, you know what? Head fakes, right? You got to be careful for those head fakes. That's what I call when the bookmaker puts a line, trying to, when you see a line, you're going, okay, well, why is this line this, right? That's what I call a head fake. Are they trying to head fake you to go the other way, or normally in those situations I'll stay away. All right, let me see here, what do we got on deck next? The standings. Okay, let's take a look at the NFL this weekend. Let's take a look at the National Football League this weekend, and let's take a look at the games. You got San Francisco taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. What a great, you got 2 great games. That's, the one thing that I like to do when I'm handicapping sports, try this next year when you get into the wild card weekend. Instead of putting teams, put quarterbacks. It's like the March Madness, right? You're doing the brackets. Put the quarterbacks, and normally they'll lead you to the 2 best quarterbacks normally into in the brackets when you get to the end. And we got Brock Purdy, still a rookie, but hey, you know what? San Francisco, hottest team right now in the National Football League on a 12-game win streak. But the thing that I don't know, bother or I don't want to disrespect them because they're in the conference championship, but their strength of schedule has not really been that great. And it's not their fault. They just they get off the bus and they play whoever's in front of them, right? But their strength of schedule has been favorable, and this is why I would love to see a team with a strength of schedule. Let me see, 44%. Like the last 3 games, or let's take a look at their last 10 games. Okay, Giants, Saints, Cowboys, Bears, Giants, Titans, Packers, Colts, Commanders, right? So how many teams with a winning record right there? Okay, one, so many teams at 500, you don't know if they're a winning record or losing record. Let me see. Giants were there. The Bears, no. Cowboys, yeah. Saints, no. Giants. So pretty much a good record right there against teams, right? Pretty good team. Let me see. Commanders, good team. So that's, we'll just say good teams, right? And like competitive teams. Commanders, Packers, Titans not this year. Giants, they played the Giants 3 times. Cowboys, Giants. So 6 out of 10 pretty hard games, right? Cowboys, yeah. Seahawks, yeah. Cardinals, no. Raiders, no. Commanders, yeah, we'll give them there. Seattle, yeah. Buccaneers, Dolphins. You know what? The Dolphins, I'll give them a playoff team, right? So you have to say, yeah. And then Saints, Cardinals. So you can see the strength of schedule for the 49ers, not as, reflecting that 12-win record, right? So beating the beatables and going into this game, they're on the road in Philadelphia. Eagles a 2.5-point favorite. Now ask yourself this question. If the bookmakers made the 49ers, say, a 1-point favorite, a 1.5 or a 2-point favorite, would that change your mindset going into this game? Would that change your mindset going into this game? Because Philadelphia, and again, my good friend Ross says all the time, think like a bookmaker. When you see the Eagles as a minus 2.5, where do you think, if I put 100 recreational bettors in the room, what is 100 of those bettors going to bet on? Are they going to bet on the Eagles, or is it going to be 50-50? I think 50-50. If I put the line here, 49ers minus 2.5, how much of those those 100 people bettors are going to bet? I say it's more 60-40 49ers. So you see how the bookmakers can play a bit with the line to get the market psychology going a bit. I like San Francisco this weekend. I like the hot team going in. Philadelphia, to me, this is going to come down to a field goal. I know the computer pick has 24-21, but I think San Francisco, let's take a look at the value, right? I think there's really good value in the 49ers this week and get plus 2.5. And you know what? If you like the Eagles, take the money line. Don't even lay 2.5. Take the money line. It's let me see here what the line is on the money line. Minus 145. So, do you want to lay 110, or do you want to spend $35 instead of sweating out a field goal at the end and take the money line? And look at this, 1-4 against the point spread in their last 5 games, 4-1. And that's just, that tells me it's just momentum. And the one thing that, I normally don't bet playoff games because the lines are so, they're so tight. And it's you're getting close to the Super Bowl. The whole world knows about the game. There's value, the percentage play, and it's very, very balanced. Two competitive teams. This could be a coin flip type game, right? But you look at the Eagles at home against those A-type teams, 5-0, 4-1. And this is what I mean about the strength of schedule of the 49ers. They have yet to play an A-type team on the road this year. Think about that. They have yet to play a team with a 60 or higher win percentage on the road this season. I don't see any lines here. On the road, they're 5-3, 10-1 at home this year. So yeah, they love the home cooking. 9-2 against the point spread, 13-6. And for the Eagles, 8-2 at home, 7-3 against the numbers. San Francisco in Philadelphia, last 10 trips. Last 10 games, 7-3 straight up and against the number. And when was the last time these two teams met? 2021. 17-11 for the Eagles. And you know what? As Stone Cold would say.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Yeah, give me the 49ers plus 2.5 this weekend. I'm taking San Fran. Even though we're going in with a rookie quarterback, I still like the defense. And if McCaffrey is heavily involved, and they got weapons. They got weapons in San Fran. So does Philly. And again, this game can go any way, but any pick you think take, I don't think is a bad pick. But, beer piece of money on the 49ers. All right, my game of the week, Bengals. I love the Cincinnati Bengals this weekend. When you get a quarterback like Joe Burrows, who's just not scared. He's just, he's just cool. He's a cool dude. Hey, goes into Buffalo, goes to Bills Mafia, kicks the crap out of us, because I'm a Bills fan. 27-10. They beat the Ravens 24-17. They beat them twice, actually. 27-16. So, you know what? And they played the Bills. Look at their strength of schedule last 4 games. Bills twice, Ravens twice. Yeah, Belichick here, Brady there. Yeah, Cincinnati, not scared about anything. Kansas City, you know, hey, great season, great team, good head coach. Patrick Mahomes, you know, playing on 1 foot. We don't know the extent of the injury. To be honest, he can go in and tweak it. The one thing with high ankle sprains is that it takes months to heal those things. You know, when I've known players who've got high ankle sprains, you know, they make that one tweak, that one run, and then they're on the gimp again, right? But going into this game, give me Cincinnati plus 2.5. I love getting the fact, and look at Kansas City at home against teams above 500, 60%. 2-1 straight up, but 0-3 against the number. And but the one thing about Patrick Mahomes you got to really respect is he's money Mahomes. He is money. When it comes to the playoffs, you got 2 money quarterbacks here. 2 quarterbacks that are going to give everything they got. And again, going into the game, there's no real bad feeling. Look, the numbers couldn't be any tighter, right? -1, -2.5. These are picking lines this weekend. Cincinnati plus 1.5. San Francisco plus 2.5. Going with the 2 road teams, and that's where I feel good this weekend. All right, there you have it. That is the show today in a nutshell. In fact, before I go, let me get to the stats and trends of the day. Let's go look at those trends. Hey, trends are your friends. Actually, I got to give you the.
We talking about practice, not a game. Not a game. We talking about practice.
80% club stats.
Practice, man. I mean, how silly is that?
All right, here are your 80% club stats today, courtesy of ATSstats.com. Clippers 27-1 as a -10 or more home favorite, coming off a Pacific Division opponent the last 10 years. And if you want to get more of these stats, go to the website. On the once you get to the website, go to NBA. And then once you click on NBA, click on 20 winning NBA trends, and you can get more of the stats right there. In fact, let me go look at the National Hockey League. We got a lot of games tonight in the NHL. I think there's like 9, but I'm going to go to the old 80% club stats. These are one of my favorite stats right here. Old 80% club. And let's take a look at some of the old 80% club stats and trends. If you like, let me see here. 10-1. Buffalo is a road underdog on 1 day's rest. Total 6.5 coming off an over. 10-1 straight up. What's the puck line? And again, think about the top of the show, right? It's about value and winning. Is there dollar cost average? Let me go to NHL. Let me see Buffalo tonight on the puck line. Yeah, plus 1.5, -160. But you're facing a Winnipeg team who's pretty good at home. What's Winnipeg's home record? What did I say it was, like 16-5 or something like that? Something crazy like that. Let me go to Winnipeg. The Jets -175, a little chalky. Buffalo's in that zone right now. 4-game win streak and beating good teams. In fact, who do they beat? They beat St. Louis. They beat Dallas. Dallas is a good team. Anaheim's not a good team. The Islanders, okay, they're beating the beatables. But no, St. Louis and Dallas, those are 2 good teams. But look at the record, 17-6. And but here's the good news. If you do like the Buffalo Sabres tonight, anytime they're on the road on 1 day's rest, 10-1 straight up in their next game. So that's a pretty good one right there. Let's take a look at the other stats. New Jersey doing pretty good. Buffalo. Oh, look at this. Anytime Minnesota's a home team before a non-division game, coming off a 4-game road stand, 16-3-1 to the under. Wow. Hey, that means they're they get home, they're tired, and they're normally flat the next game at home, right? So all right. Good morning, Coach. Says Portland Space Girl. Hey, how you doing there, Peyton Sports Girl? Hope you're having a good start to your day. And I have a strong inclination that Kyle will dial up too many cute Mickey Mouse plays that will eventually cost him the game, says F. And no, I'm riding the Eagles all the way, says F. And San Fran in the NFC Weak West division, says F for fantastic. All right, folks, that is the Raymond Report today for a Thinking Thursday. I know normally it's a Thirsty Thursday, but I think I'm going to combine Thinking and Thursday with a Thinking Thursday, because that's the goal, is to make you think. And always remember, the objective is to get to the winner's circle and get to a cash out Monday. Always remember, the more time you get to the winner's circle at night when you're betting, you can make it to a cash out Monday, and then you can cash out that big wad of cash, and then you can go buy yourself something nice, right? Or invest it and invest it and make more money. All right, have yourself a great rest of your Thinking Thursday. I'll be back here next Thursday with Ross the Boss Benjamin. And again, if you're interested in getting a membership at atsstats.com, use promo code ATS25, ATS25, and get 25% off your next membership right here at atsstats.com. In the meantime, shop for value, play those percentages. I'll see you back shortly with another Raymond Report. Harry Carey?
Hello again, everybody. Harry Carey from Wrigley Field on a beautiful day for baseball.
To be the man, you've got to beat the man.
Joe owned the Chiefs.
Owns.
Owns.
I don't know.
Struggling.
Can we have fun? You're damn right. I demand that we have fun.
Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only.
Straight cash, homie.
Holy cow!
It's a dog-eat-dog world, Sammy, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear.
What the hell's going on out here? Woo! If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Let's go to eat a goddamn snack.
Hey, yeah, would you look over there? Big red lips, long blonde hair. Say, come here, baby, let me catch you stare. Like the way you walk over there. Hey, yeah, would you look over there? Long black boots and long square. Say, come here, baby, let me catch you stare. Like the way you walk when you walk over there. Ain't no girl like, ain't no girl like that. No girl like that. I just want to talk to you. Want to talk to you. Come on, let's drive around. Take the top down, fool around. Come on, let's drive around. Take the top down, fool around. Hey! Hey, now, would you look over there? Big red lips and long blonde hair. Say, come here, baby, let me catch you stare. Like the way you walk when you walk over there.
Hey, baby! We're gonna be here all day! We're gonna be here all day, baby! I like this kind of party! I like this kind of party, baby!
Thinking Thursday. I know